I'm so sorry for being late. I am terribly, utterly apologize for being late. Sorry po na late po, Ma'am Sir. My apologies. Yeah, hello. Big Mo, hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much, Twilight. Thank you. Yeah, I am actually late, which I apologize. But yeah, Yahoo. Hey, Tofu, yeah. I apologize, everyone. I was gonna start like around like 10 minutes ago, but I was having like a fun talk with my little sister because there might be a possible collaboration with my little sister. So please stay tuned with that. It's okay, better late than no show. Yup, I agree. But also, it's not always good to be late all the time because if you are working in a job, if you're always late, you will have a warning. Yeah. So just wait, guys. I'm just waiting for after like about 3 minutes in total. Then we will go to the screen to talk about Reality 101. So yeah. So bet it's okay. It's better to be late than never. But also it's better to have no late at all when you're in a company or in a job. Because if you're always late, it usually reflects your not only your personality but also your professionalism. Yeah. I wish I could talk about like for though I want to talk about like more on resumes and other things. So I think we could talk about that as well. We can talk about that as well. Don't worry guys, I'm feeling a bit better, hopefully. Yeah, it's just very sudden. So for those who were on the stream, yes, I believe 2 days ago, let's keep it to ourselves because even FM Kun is very worried. That's why the stream from 2 days ago, with the reason why it was like abrupt on Twitter, was because there are a lot of mentioned companies, and I am okay. First of all, I'm not I'm not telling that these companies, I'm not slandering them, okay? I'm not slandering them. I'm just talking about when it comes to their security. When it comes to security and safety of the well-being of their consumers. So yeah. Hmm. Yep. I'm gonna check with that person. Okay. I believe it's already 3 minutes, so let us begin. I'm sure you guys, before we begin going to the news to the next screen, I would like to remind everyone that whatever discussions that will be made later on, they are all based from my own experiences, own memories, and based from whatever has happened over the days, okay? Over the years, throughout months and whatnot, okay? So please do keep that in mind, everyone, because I am not a total expert on certain aspects of what I'm going to be discussing today. So if you need more information, I would seek advice from professionals in the specific companies that would be involved. Okay? Remember, this is based from my own experiences and this is based from my whatever I have encountered throughout the year. Okay, as a adventure VTuber. Yeah, even adventurers have banks and and doing their best to save up money and have jobs. Okay. Okay, let's go. Let me begin. So, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'm your little bear adventure VTuber Doppel Griz. And if you guys are wondering why is there no media player or playing, it's because this is a reality check 101. This is a reality check 101 stream. Now, for those who don't know how reality check 101, what is reality check 101? Just like how you like talk about like how you like like you saw those like books like study computer coding for dummies, or like educational books, or even the subjects that you take during college days, like let's say mathematics 101. So reality check 101 is about like reality, as in literal IRL stuff that we are talking about, like talking about why you don't get good salaries, or like why our politics are this bad, why are people still choosing these kinds of people, but then poof, Coco Crunch, right? So as I mentioned earlier, that the topics that I'll be talking about is based from my own experiences, my own memories, and do take note that I'm not a professional in certain aspects, so please take everything I say as a grain of salt as well. This is also a good learning lesson for those who don't know such aspects, since mostly some of you are either like high school students, or maybe college students, or maybe people who have not heard of these things, regardless of what educational level you have. So before anything, hello everyone again. I'm Doppel Griz, Reality Check 101, and I'm multi-streaming on both YouTube and on Twitch. Okay? So a heads up announcement. There will be some streams moving forward for the upcoming streams that will only be Twitch only. So for those who have not followed me on Twitch, for those on YouTube, you can make sure to check the links on my YouTube and also on my uh Twitter, and also on my YouTube post. Of course, you can see all the details of mine. Like if you want to follow me on Twitter, I have lots of social medias prepared. I have Thread, I have Blue Sky, I have Twitter, I have YouTube, I have Twitch, I have Instagram, I have VTuber. Nakang puta, ba't ang dami? Minsan nakakainis na, ba't ang daming mga social medias? Nakakasakit ng ulo, hindi ba nakakapagod? Magsascroll sa Twitter, tapos magsascroll sa Blue Sky, then suddenly magsascroll ka sa Thread, tapos magsascroll ka sa Instagram, tapos magsascroll ka sa Twitch din, tapos magsascroll ka din sa YouTube, o magsascroll ka pa sa Facebook. Ay, yeah. There's so many social medias. But that'll be a topic for another time. So, for today's topic, previously I did talk about a lot of different topics before. Some of you guys might not know, I did do Reality Check 101. We talked about like VTubers, followers, dramas, politics. But now we are going to be talking about the most important thing. One of the most important thing that every streamer always have, what before they even like become after becoming affiliate, the most important thing. We're going to be talking about banks, their the most common policies, transactions, how it works. And of course, we're gonna be talking about the pros and the cons of such bank, of such stuff, and then we might talk about like loans, and we will be possible like loans, credit cards, debits, savings, checkings, and a bunch of those stuff. Okay, but I'll be talking about like the most common things or the essentials, most likely. Now, please do take note for those who are in other countries. The topics that I'm going to be talking about revolves around the Philippines. Okay, obviously because I'm in PH. Okay, so obviously how the transactions, how banks work, or how the policies work is based from the Philippines. I know that the US or in the Japan they have very good policies, but I wish I could talk about that, but since the accounts are here in the Philippines and I'm gonna be talking about Philippine stuff, yeah, we're all doomed at this point. Well, not doomed all the time, because I couldn't. If I was doomed, I couldn't even play games. So yeah. So let's begin. So banks, accounts. So what are banks exactly? So for those who don't know, obviously, where do you get your money? And obviously people will tell you they're from banks. Sometimes they will tell you, where do you get money? From the bank. How do you get money from the bank? You work. Obviously, that's the most common thing that you will always hear. For especially for parents, by the way. It's different how we get money individually. Like not all of us get money from the same source, right? Like for example, let's say me, I am employed IRL, so I get my money once my pay arrives, it goes to my bank to a bank, and obviously I can get my money from my bank account. So that's one of the options. Some, however, get their money in cash. So let's say they have done commissions, they will give the money straight to them, either in cold cash or sometimes through because of technology. Some people use Gcash or they use Maya or they use bank transfer. Now, bank transfer, for those who don't know, or maybe you guys haven't heard of it for the first time, is a transfer of the amount from bank to another bank. Like for example, let's say for example, BDO, you're sending money from BDO and then you're gonna send money to Union Bank. Now that's bank transfer. Now each bank, just like how stock markets work, have different style of how they do their establishment. Some banks have like very good offers. Some banks have better rewards than the others. Some accessible to every kind of client. Like let's say they can cater to students, they can cater to toddlers, parents that wants to make accounts for their toddlers so that when they grow older, at least they have a savings prepared up. And there are some, like let's say they're very very old, they wanna like have a wanna check their bank account or rather for pensions. Like let's say when they want to get their pension, they can just check their bank accounts. So there are those kinds of scenarios. Now, the bank you choose will depend on you, because obviously, why would people force you to choose a bank just because it has good benefits, right? It's better that here's an advice also for myself. Before you even open a bank account, it's better to know if the bank is like there's a lot of clients, it's accessible to your area. It's usually those are the possible things that you can like say that this is the bank for you are the following. Like one of the things that you need to take note as someone who wants to have a bank. You want to have a bank that's like close to your area, which it makes sense because if you're gonna withdraw money, why do you have to like go like 30-minute drive just to withdraw money, right? That's one location. Another is like, are there a lot of clients? Like let's say, because sometimes in like it's the same as like in a normal business. Like if there are fewer people here, but then this restaurant has a lot of people, obviously you would want to go to the one with the most number of people because high chances that they are serving something good. So obviously you wouldn't want to just go to a bank wherein there's like so few people because you don't know if the security is good or not, right? So that's also another thing. And also speaking of security, that's another thing to talk about. You want to choose a bank where in security is safe, like in case of fraudulent accounts, and obviously you did not do anything, obviously you want to like safeguard to have like assurance that your funds will be safe, or if there will be losses that isn't like your fault, then obviously you should not tolerate any banks that security is like very bad. And also thank you so much for the follow, Bloody. Thank you. We're just talking about banks. So before applying for a bank, you want to have like the closest location, and then there's lots of clients so that you know you are assured that it's safe there. But at the same time, another thing is if their security is good. Like let's say something happens to your credit card, So at least there's a remedy and they will assist you no matter what. Obviously, who would want to apply for a bank wherein they don't assist you or have dispute where it it common in a common sense, like it makes sense that it was not this person who did either the withdrawal or the deposit or the swiping. So obviously you would want to have that assurance that you are safe from any harm, right? Why would you even apply for a bank that they will not assure you that your money is going to be safe, right? Right? Who'd want that? Let's say you put like $1,000 and then of you think that it's safe there, then suddenly you didn't do anything with your account, you just leave it there. Then when you go back to the bank, suddenly they will tell you, oh, here's your bank statement, here's your like passbook updated, and then you see that the 1,000 is gone. Like, how on earth did you go? And then they will tell you, oh, sorry, it is a valid transaction, so even we dispute it, as long as it was done, then we can't help you there. And guys, FYI, that phrase has been banned moving forward as I pushed this to my manager, that the phrase valid transaction is not allowed in chat. You would not want to be banned or timed out, okay guys? So that word is banned because I got traumatic experiences, okay, with that word phrase, okay guys? Please understand. You guys, I will also explain the policies later on, okay? So you have all those in mind, like the location you already found, like the security is good, the assurance, the safety, the number of people that like banking there. So in case there won't be any bankrupts or banks, right? So you can now set up your bank. Now, some of you all are might be like still studying, right? So you might have like this question like, but Doppel, I'm like a high school student. Can I apply for a bank? Yes, you can. There are banks that are willing to open a savings account for you as long as you have the minimum amount of deposit. Now, that's why there are a lot of banks that have different kinds of savings depending on what type of client that it wants to apply. Wait, give me a second. Okay. I was like, wait. I was like, sorry. Just heard something. So, so yeah, you would want to have a bank wherein you want, obviously that's one of the other things that you are looking for in the bank is that if you can apply to create to apply for an account, right? So obviously if you're like a student and you or like you have this allowance and you just want to save it up just for you to buy something that you really want, then that's another thing that you need to take note before applying for a bank account. So that's one of them. So as a student, if you're a student applying for a bank account, the first thing you have to remember is that for students, usually, I'm not sure in other countries, for students who wants to apply for a bank account, the number one, there are usually three options. You need to provide like three government official documents. So it's either you have a government ID, but since you're a student, it's most likely that they will require your student ID. Take note, student ID, like the official student ID, either which school you are, high school, or if you are on high school or you're a college student, then they would need that because that is still a legal ID. Obviously, if you already graduated in college, then obviously you would a company ID is like the most common. Now, another thing to take note is that if you don't have any school IDs or whatnot, then birth certificate. Oh, give me a second. Sorry guys. I'm just gonna do an errand in a bit, like 3 minutes. But don't worry. In Land Bank, you can have a piso account which is for the student only, which only requires student ID and birth certificate. Yep, that's right. So other than school IDs, if you don't have a school ID, like let's say you have temporary, because temporary IDs doesn't count as a legal ID for students. But another thing is birth certificates. Birth certificates and passports are included. Now, for that account, however, once you graduated, you are required to change your piso into a normal. Yeah. That it's really normal. That's what happened to me when I had my BDO account. Because when I was a kid, my mom did apply us with a savings account. And then once we grew older, we were required to go to the bank to make an update of our kind of savings. I used to have one. It has a limit of 500K for students. Ah, that sucks. Wait, wait. Are you saying like a max, like a maximum of 50K in one like bank account? Tofu. This is new to me because this up to 50K. But wait, for question. Do you get interest? Now, for those who don't know what interests are, some banks, depending on your savings, there will be like an increase of amount, like an interest rate, they call it, like in a percent that you get extra. Nope, there's no interest in piso. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. I think, um, yeah, my best advice, tofu. Yeah, well, then again, I believe that is before when it comes to students. But now, if you're gonna have a normal land bank account, then I guess you will have interest now in your new in the new instead of student account bank account, it will be like a normal bank account. Now, sometimes the more amount you have in your savings, the better your interest. Like let's say for example, you have 1 million peso in your bank account, then depending on the interest, you will like get 100 peso. 100 peso in a month or something like that. Why does it sound low? 1 million and then you only get 100? It's because interest rates are like very low. That's why some people, when they look for a bank account, they would want to apply for a bank wherein there's like bigger interest. But of course, bigger interest requires bigger savings. I do have one and it has interest plus bank tax, which reduces the rate. Yeah, the annoying part is the bank tax. I don't understand. Is it because if for safety and others? I mean, look at me. I had to deal with so much problems. So I don't think bank tax is even advice. I don't know. But hearing bank tax, that sounds annoying. I didn't know bank tax is a thing too. Everything's taxable at this point. What's the next thing that the Philippines will do? Have air tax every time we breathe. We pay like point 0.1 centavo. My goodness. But yeah, walking tax. Oh my gosh, walking. Are they that lazy? Then every walk. Imagine if you're gonna go from work, go to work. That's gonna be so bad. But yeah, going back to make having a bank account. So wait, I'm so high schools. Yeah, they have like piso accounts like what Tofu mentioned, and there are like save for students for kids. Now this also includes toddlers, by the way. Now, what makes this different is that for high school, if you are of below the adult age, which is below 18, then as you should have a guardian to be with you in applying for that. Usually. Oh, wait, give me a second. I think this is a Lala move. Give me a second. Ayun. Hello? Give me a second, guys. God, I'm back. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Okay, I am back. Sorry. I was like hanging like out of nowhere. It's because like there's like a delivery that they're gonna get like some of my mom's like client documents to their of course to the fact to the company. So we're all good. Okay. I hope you all didn't wait that long. So moving back to banks. So I can't remember what was the last time I talked about, but yeah. So even toddlers again, even if you don't like they're like babies, you can parents like if you're a father or a single even if you're a single parent or if you're a father or mother or a grandparent, you can actually like apply a bank account for your like grandson or nephew and whatnot as long as because the requirements to create a bank account in case for a toddler or like kids below the required age, usually a parent or a guardian can apply for you. So obviously the for those accounts usually it's very common like what Tofu mentioned that it's very common that they will have like piso account. There will be no interest because it's just a kid's account. It's like a student account, so there will be no interest. But there are some bank accounts from my memory is that some banks such as like example BPI, they have like a savings account that you can have for students. So that's what I do remember for students. So it usually helps like this now you guys might before anything else you guys might be wondering why am I talking about like banks transactions policies like I could like don't they just teach it in school. Not every school actually teaches you like the actual reality of things like for those who studied in college did they ever taught you that you need to apply for like pension for like government stuff like let's say in the Philippines they don't teach you that they don't tell you that you need to apply for SSS, you need to apply for PhilHealth, you need to apply for pag-ibig, you need to apply for like tin ID for taxes for BIR before you can even apply for a job. Same principle in the topic that we're talking about. So you guys might be saying we know how bank works, but do you really know how the inside goes or how the requirements are made? Because not every bank have the same requirements. Not really the same requirements. They have the same requirements, yeah, but their policies are very different. And also the benefits, the rewards, the point system, security, they're all different. You guys might be wondering, oh, we just choose this bank just because we feel just because it is closer to us. But you didn't know that this one gives more interest. So obviously, if you are like you have no idea about these small details, then you will be thinking like, I should have done this. I regret not choosing this in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like all of us would want to like choose a bank wherein it benefits us the most. Like, I mean, everyone wants to have a bank that gives more benefits, right? Same goes with games. You want to play games wherein it gives you lots of goodies, right? So same principle with applying for bank accounts. You want to apply for a bank account wherein it gives you more interest. It gives you like better safety and security. Make sure that if there are any fraudulent things, you're safe. They'll help you dispute and everything. They'll help you prove that you are innocent. They'll reimburse you in case of loss if it's like technically no, for the technicalities, right? Now, we're talking about banks, of course, but obviously, how does it work when it comes to like interest and others? So, other than creating a bank account, you have to also consider what type of bank account you want to apply for. You want the one with the high risk, which is like having to put a lot of money, but in the long run, you have better interest. You want to apply for like low risk, let's say you're employed, you just got your job and you just want to have a saving where and you want to know how things work because almost all of us after graduating college we don't know how banks work, how interests work, applying requirements, like what are the different kinds of savings, if you want to do investment, you want to do insurances and other things, right? So you have to also take note of those. Why are you telling us this? We could just like talk to other people. Yeah, and there's a lot of you who are introverts who never talk to people. Like I don't give a damn. Like a lot of people are also introverts. So obviously some of them cannot even talk to people. So instead of like doing that, then some people just watch on YouTube or sometimes watch like interactive, especially today's time, a lot of people have short attention span. And I'm one of them. So we would like watch YouTube or stuff or even like videos like they will teach you how to do this and do that. So I'm someone who has already like experienced the traditional and the technological way. So yeah, it differs. It differs. Now, let's say you have already chosen your bank account. What do you need to take note of? Some banks here in the Philippines, when you withdraw when you withdraw, there's like a withdrawal fee. Think of it as tax. Why? Why would there be why would there be a fee for even withdrawing money? I don't know either. Actually, that's the one thing that I'm concerned. Is it because I don't know. Maybe the fee that they want the fee that they're talking about maybe for so that their establishment or at least there's like because you have to take note that all bank establishment they are paying the property, paying the rent of the place. Or let's say if they're in the mall and the bank is inside the mall, they need like money at least to pay for certain like for rents and others. You guys have to remember consider that. Like every money has its use. So, but however, here in the Philippines, there is so much tax. Sometimes you even wonder if they are real or fake. Meralco, for instance, there's like a generation charge, electricity charge. Like you don't know how these taxes even come from. And like although there's like good things about certain aspects of things, but you don't know if they are really shown or not. So obviously, other than like other than finding already what kind of savings and what kind of bank account you're gonna get, you have to also consider like the pros and cons too. Some some savings in some banks they will require you to have this amount and it should not be below this amount. Otherwise, either the account gets closed or the money bit by bit will get deducted. Don't we have the highest VAT tax in Southeast Asia, which is 12%? Well, sadly, yes, and I don't understand why that has not been talked about in the government. I wish I could. I wish Tofu. You know what? If I get the chance, maybe I should try politics like only once in my lifetime because of how disgusting the requirements is to even apply for candidacy to become a senator. I will tell you this, guys. Applying as a president is so easy. That's how corrupted and disgusting the laws here in the Philippines are. And you guys have to remember the laws are like 1986 constitution. So that's how old. And if you guys are wondering, it's mostly all old people who are like in the politics and it's so annoying. That's why a lot of people are like getting tired like people are choosing the wrong people, but I don't want to talk about that because that's going to be a topic for another time. Maybe I will do a reality check 101 for votings and other things a month before the vote in the Philippines. So please stay tuned for that. Apparently, it's 2 years from now. Now, other than taxes, so what are the pros and cons? I'm sure you guys are might be wondering what are the pros and cons. Now, long time ago, like even like before internet existed, for you to withdraw money is for you to go to a bank or an ATM and then withdraw money. That's it. Technology today is because of technologies today, you can now like download an app of the bank. And then you can check your bank accounts there. You don't need to go to a bank establishment. You can just do it in your bed and like, oh, I'm just gonna transfer those funds to here and there, here and there, here and there. Poof, Coco Crunch. Right? So you have to really think about like how much changes has happened. obviously before like scams okay, now we will be talking about the crucial things because this is what happened to my account. Like my account got stolen, but I will now tell you about like the pros and disadvantages. Not all banks are safe. I will now say this straightforward to everyone. Your money might be safe in the bank, but is it really safe to begin with? Right? Hackers, scammers, phishing links, uh, mga tao tumatawag sa cellphone na papanggap na taga-bangko sila. Um, what other things that happens? Those didn't exist back then. But the only way to hack even the ATMs would be they are like, here's because I watched this in news. Like before bank apps existed, people are able to get like the information of a card by adding like a special device and they will insert it inside an ATM. When a person puts that card inside, you think that you're safe, but apparently that socket is actually like, how do you say this? It was, what's the right word? It was replaced by thieves. Wherein you think you're withdrawing money, but it's actually like getting all your in other informations inside the card. That's how it was back then on how we were able to steal. Or even like the easiest way is like a robber stole your wallet and that's it. But even then it was not easy. Now, for technology today, anyone can get scammed. Someone's gonna call you telling you that you got so much points and if you want, we can just apply it because it's a once in a lifetime. It won't happen tomorrow because the deadline is today. Or sometimes like they will tell you you just have to your credit card is compromised even though it was not. So what happened was you just applied like what's the right word? Like they will tell you that your credit card has been compromised, but actually it was not. But then they're telling you that you may I know your name and other things and other information like you can get identity theft and other things, which is really bad. And here in the Philippines, it's so bad. The cyber security here in the Philippines is so horrible. I will tell you guys this. Yeah, is that how the policies in the Philippines work? Sadly, yes. We have the worst cybersecurity here in the Philippines, and I am a witness to that. Same goes with banks. The policies of banks are not as you think like butterflies and high interest rate. No, and this is where the cons come from. In case like it was not you who used your credit card, but then but then they will either like or let's say your money got withdrawn. They will always tell you like obviously people will get angry. They will have to file a dispute and everything. And at the end of the day, you know what's the sad thing? Well, the transaction was valid because it pushed through. So it's a valid transaction. As per our policies, we will not help you. We will not help you with the reimbursement and others because you are at fault, even though it's a fraudulent activity. So what's the point in even having text messages? If this is not you, then please call, right? Right? Like I don't like there are banks like this, and I already mentioned it from Saturday, which I already am warning everyone to like take note of the banks that I have mentioned because if this is how consumers are being treated, if something like this happens, then what's the point of even having a savings there, right? That's why I am very skeptical in all banks now because I have no trust. Even though I have a bank account, I have no trust in any banks now after the incident. Because it's not only me that had a very bad time. My mother experienced something even worse. And I don't want to talk about it because this is like a personal matter. So it was that bad. Like that's also the cons with applying for a bank. You don't know if your savings will be safe to begin with. Let's say you have lots of money, you didn't touch anything because your goal is to buy a house. But then suddenly when you check your account, it's like zero. Or like let's say half of it disappeared. But you don't remember even withdrawing any money. You don't even use credit cards. So how did it disappear? And then they will tell you that it's a valid transaction, so we can't do anything on our end because if it disappeared, why didn't you report? Like it's like the policies in almost every bank already is so bad. In case something like this happens, in case that the person who did not even withdraw was withdrawn by a malicious user, then yeah, that's all I can say because I'm already. If you guys are wondering why are you like double, why are you emphasizing this aspect? It's because I experienced it firsthand. I talked about this last Saturday. If not, I talked about this a year ago that I had a talk with a certain bank and I had to talk to the Bangko Sentral of the Philippines or BSP for those who don't know. Like it was that bad. Yeah. So also for those who don't know, the Philippines has one main bank that is like the boss of every bank that's in the Philippines. So which is called the Bangko Sentral of the Philippines or BSP. They're the ones in charge with producing the actual money in physical, like the coins and the bills. They're also the ones who have the highest authority over all banks because they know the law. They have more information about the law of every establishment and what things that that are allowed and what are not allowed. But even Banco Central can't even help me during my case from 2 years ago. So that's why I lost all hope. Now here's the thing. So wait, Doppel. Let's say I got scammed and the bank won't help me and it was already proven, Banco Central and other things. Is there a way for me to recover it? Sadly, the last option that has been provided to all of us is going to the full police. For here in the Philippines, it's PNP or which stands for Philippine National Police. Specifically cybercrime division because they're usually in charge with any fraudulent transactions, money involved and stuff. But even them, I have very low hope. Like I'll have very very low hope for because if I already have no trust in the government, then I already have no trust in the police because think of it as think of it as this aspect. Uh the chatters the streamers reflect the audience. So how did the people talk about how the streamer talks about things, it also influences their viewers. Same principle. The government influences the police. So it's the same thing. That's why when I said I have no hope or I have lost like trust in the government, that goes in a lot of aspects. Okay. I just can't. I'm already tired. Like, you guys might be like, then why don't you just move out of the country? Do you think it's cheap? Do you think it's cheap to go to another country? Like, even if you're a student telling me this, do you think you can afford to go from, let's say, for example, Philippines, then you're gonna go abroad to, let's say, the United States of America? You think it's cheap? Putang ina, 500,000 peso para lang pumunta sa Amerika. Syunga ka? Kailangan ng interview fee, kailangan ng 200,000 peso sa savings mo. Kailangan ng show bank statement para makapunta ng ibang bansa. Japan nga, kailangan mo ng Japan visa, then may savings ka as proof para lang maging sure na hindi ka magiging stowaway pag pumunta ka ng Japan. Sorry guys, my other language is showing. Because sometimes I always like encounter those dumb things. And also thank you so much for the headbat tofu. Like sometimes like there will always be people who will ask nonsense questions, like they just say it without even thinking in the first place. I'm like, money isn't even easy. If you're like, to those who are watching me, if they're like, if you are college students or high school students who are living with your parents, you guys are even having a hard time having to check what you're going to do with your allowance, right? Your allowance won't even take you to other countries. You know that? Most especially if you're like in Asia and you're going to like the other continent, like let's say you're going to Africa or you're going to the UK, you think it's cheap. No, it's not cheap. It's not cheap because everything's taxes here, taxes there, taxes everywhere. Don't want any stowaways, don't want any immigrants here and there. There will be racism and there's going to be discrimination. So you think it's easy to even go there? Wait till you even go to the country. Let's see if you don't have that you don't get any backlash from your ethnicity. That's why my for those who are watching, fellow students, except me, I'm already graduate, so please study properly. Please use common sense. Don't use an don't just choose chat GPT. You're human. You have a brain. Use it. You're not a robot. Don't even think about using AI. Even think about using AI for generating artworks and music and other things. Or even videos. God dang it. If you're just gonna rely on ChatGPT, maybe you shouldn't have studied at all. Maybe it's better that you rot in a rural area if you don't want to even think. You know what's that called? Laziness. Think about this clearly. If you think some people, like for professionals, some people have bank accounts, right? But if you think about it, why do people still look for other jobs? For practical reasons, it's because their salary is not enough. For example, why salary is not enough? Electricity bill, property bill, amnesty, water bill, food. If you're a if you're a parent, tuition fees, books, uniforms. You have to also consider laundry. If you're not doing the laundry, then you're gonna go to a laundromat, right? So there's that. So those things, especially with the world now, with the inflation rates, and especially because of the war going on, so all the prices are gonna go high. So a lot of people are looking for more money because this is also another disadvantage with banks. Yes, your money may be safe. I will not say secured, maybe, because things can happen, like inside job and such. But some people prefer investing it in something else. For example, some people use their money. There's a reason why some have bank savings is because for special benefits. For example, like I said earlier, like before you even be able to go to another country, some people require you to have a show money. For those who don't know what show money is, it's like a statement of how much money you have and to prove that you have the required amount of money in your savings to go to another country. That's what show money is. Now, visa is another requirement other than money, but visa is more of like think of it as a certificate that's gonna be put up stick into the passport as proof. Think of it as like an ID pass just to go to another country. That's what visa is. But some requires for interviews. Like here in the Philippines, to be able to apply for a US visa, you need to pass the interview. Besides savings. So that's how harsh it is. Requirements in the US is so bad. Not saying in the like in the bad way. It's because it's so strict that it's so strict. Like I don't understand how going people from the US going to the Philippines, it's so easy. But when Philippines wants to go to the US, it's so hard. Like I kid you not. It's so dumb. Like where's the fairness there? Is it because the pricing is so different between the US and the Philippines? Well, it's our government's fault. But then again, it's the people's fault for voting for these dumb asses. So, sorry, not sorry. But that's how I see things. Now, I've already talked about the possible cons and pros. But now we will talk about like, how about the loans and how about the loans, credit cards, debit cards? So, what are they? So, Debit cards are like similar to savings, like you get interest. What makes it different is some savings or debit, there is no withdrawal fee. Now, here's where people are like curious, really knows what it is. Credit card. Yes. Ah, yes. The credit card. The CC. The swipe to do gacha. Oh, the swipe to get what you want. Swipe left, swipe right. Oh, a black card. Oh, you swipe in rich. Yes, credit card. Now, credit card, you guys already know. Think of it as having like amount. There is like a credit limit. Like for those who don't know, applying for a credit card requires a lot of things, right? So for credit card, you have to understand that there's a credit limit, and even if you spend money using the credit card, you have to pay it back. That's why it's called credit. Think of it as you're borrowing money from the bank. So the credit card is in a very simple term. Thank you for the hydrate. I'll drink. Now, oh man. Okay. Now, credit card is what you guys expect. Credit cards are like you are borrowing money from the bank. So there's like a specific day, a specific month a specific day in the month that you have to pay. Okay, because if you don't pay, you'll be blacklisted in the bank. No reasons whatsoever, unless of course you file for dispute and other things, or like debt repayment promo. That's different. That's why some people there are a lot of elderlies who prefer not to have credit cards because people always say that money is the root of all evil. Don't spend too much or else your debt is gonna be high, which is not they're not wrong. Like a lot of people have already gotten duped to having very high interest rates or debt because of using credit cards. Because the hard thing is that people don't know how to handle money or even know how to handle their own credit card or their own expenditures. Like a tip for those with credit cards. If you buy this, think about what happens if you buy this. Will it last me a lifetime? Will it last me for a few years? Will it last me a month? Will it last me something like this and like that? Will it be important? Will it help the family and other things? So you have to also consider those possibilities. Credit card is like the strongest weapon when you go to other countries. Yeah, but it's also like a lethal it's a double-edged sword. You can use it to get the items you want. However, if you don't pay pay the proper amount, then you're gonna have a bad time. Yeah. When I said the bad time, I mean bad, bad time. So yeah. So wait, what are the different types of banks then? So yeah, with technology, there's like banks wherein you don't need. It's like an only online banking, but there are some banks that are like in physical, but now they also have like bank online banking as well. But of course, number one things for sure, security will always be your number one priority because all banks are not safe. You don't know what can happen. Now, you guys might be wondering what is a bank statement? A bank statement is like, think of it like you will see the records of like if you earned money. For debit, it's usually in a pass. Usually, you guys have a passbook provided when you apply for a bank account, and you can always update it every month or even twice a week just to see if there is like interest in what others. But it's usually like once a month because interest happens every start of the month, new month. But for bank statement or SOA, it's usually like shown on your credit card. It's usually for your credit card, just for you to see how much you spent, how much is your credit limit, do you have annual fees and other things. Oh, is it easy to apply for a credit card? Depends. Some banks require you to have like a savings in their bank, but some banks, even if you don't have a savings on their bank, you can apply, but it usually like it depends. Now this is where the challenge goes. Let's say you are qualified to have a credit card, but you don't know your credit limit. So how do you know how much you have a credit? It's usually the bank's decision. And it's also their decision if let's say you want to request for a higher credit limit, they will do it, right? Now, this is it's how the challenge goes here. Now, once it's usually your credit limit will be based from your salary. Usually that's how credit cards work. Sometimes some credit cards will give you a very high credit limit, but of course, are you even gonna spend like that high of credit limit? Of course not. You don't want to like make yourself suffer, or let's say you're the eldest or you're a son daughter, you don't want to make your parents have a hard time, right? So there's that feature. Yeah, there is that kind of situation, honestly. So other than that, I don't think there are other things to take note of bank. But since I'm also thinking of what other topics related to bank and statements and others, if you guys have any questions, I am willing to give advice or like answer anything that's related to like, are there like, you might be like bothered, like, how does the accounts work? How much money should I save? How are there like tips that you can give me like on saving and other things? Like, I will tell you this. Another thing to take note is that even if you save up coins in your house, it doesn't gain interest. That's why some people prefer putting those coins in the bank account because at least there's interest. And yeah, I'm gonna stretch those my muscles as well. So wait. Oh, okay. Okay. Ooh la la. Ooh, okay, nice. Ooh, okay. Mm. Oh, my neck. Oh, I wish there's someone with me. I wish Tora was here with me. I feel like he would be able to help me with doing stretching on my back and other things. Ooh. Hi, Rabbit. Oh, hi, Rabbit. Hello, hello. Yeah, we were talking about like important, like what is how to apply for a bank account. What is banks? Are they safe? Are they not? What do you do when there's like emergency? Now, here's the thing. Here's another thing that you guys have to take note. Once you have a bank account, whether it's credit card or debit card or savings account, if something happens to your account, you still need to call the bank so that they can file a dispute that something malicious happened to their account. Yeah. That's also an advice for everyone because I believe that also applies to countries all over the world. Something happens to your account, the first thing you do immediately is to call the bank. That's it. Yeah, and those are the only things I can talk about, honestly. Yeah. But that's it. I guess those are the only topics I can talk about with regard to bank accounts and savings and credits and other things, interest and other things. So I'm giving the floor to you guys, my viewers, my awesome chatters. If you have any questions, feel free to say now. Otherwise, the Q&A will be finished and we will end the stream. Yep, we are ending stream because I'm going to be working on something else in mind. So I were you guys. If you have any questions, now is the time for you to react. But I don't have anything. Yeah. Good, good, good. As long as you take note of those things. Bleh. uh, really? Really the tongue toggle. Yeah, tongue toggle. Uh, really? Save your 50 points to go to the Discord channel. Save it for something important. Bleh. Yeah, save it for something else. No, no. No. What if I try when my eyes go up? Let me try. I think I look so disgusting. Yeah, I feel like I look so disgusting. when I do that. Like I can. That's so goofy. Oh, really? Do I look goofy? Wait. I think I do. I don't know. I can't see because obviously if I need to look up because the VTube studio looks at my pupils. So, but yeah. Yeah, so I hope before we end stream, I hope you all learned something today when it comes to making bank statements, what not to do. Oh, speaking of what to do, remember this. In the Philippines, I'm not sure in other countries, make sure to never share OTP. Make sure to never give crucial information because there will be always be people who will call as if they are like officials from banks or others. Please do not be deceived. Okay? If you think the person is like suspicious, you can always call the official bank, the contact numbers to the bank. Oh, thank you so much for the head. But yeah, I guess you guys also might be wondering why are you doing a reality check 101 specifically for banks and others? Because I did talk about Saturday on what happened to me, and it was the worst kind of feeling. So I don't want people to have to experience the same thing that has happened to not only me but also to the others and my mother. So this is also the reason why I'm doing this reality check 101 for you all. I don't want you to guys to experience having the loss of money just because you didn't do anything at all. And knowing that the bank can't really do anything because of their quote unquote policies. I want everyone to be an eye opener to certain things in life, especially in reality. Okay, behind the screen of a VTuber, there are people you don't. There are behind every VTubers or live streamers. You don't know what they are dealing with behind the screen. Some of them might be struggling financially. Some might be struggling mentally. Some might be struggling identity. Like they don't know who they are anymore. Like because ever since becoming a VTuber, they're acting out as their character, but are losing the one thing they have, their actual identity. And as someone who has experienced like the loss of money because of other than my dumbness, but at the same time, a policy wherein you will never be reimbursed because it was a valid, quote unquote, valid transaction. It's really hard. And the worst part is the one who's gonna suffer in the end is you. If you lost money on, if you lost money, you're the one who's gonna suffer in the end. No one else. That's how harsh reality is. So you guys have to remember this that you really have to be very careful with what kind of bank that you're applying for. If you're applying for security, obviously choose a bank that you know that security is safe no matter what. Do not take on certain banks that can't even help you. You guys might be thinking, but we watch TikTok and they said that this happened to them, but then they mentioned that I would like to thank the bank that they are helping me with these things. It's a lie. I will tell you this straight to you, everyone. Information about their money back from TikTok, it's not real. Reality check, guys. Huwag kayong tanga. Hindi lahat ng kita sa TikTok totoo. Tanggapin mo yan. Tanggap mo lang TikTok kung live stream yan na nagbebenta ng mga gamit-gamit. Pero kung mga solution sa mga iba-ibang bagay, hindi. Kailangan intindihin niyo yun. Ang ina. Sorry, na bitter. Sorry, I became bitter that. I just suddenly became bitter afterwards. Because as I said, I did experience having my money stolen and the bank will not help me no matter what because of policies, because it's a valid transaction. Even though it's not me who did the withdrawal, they still treat it as a valid transaction. So me calling them was useless after all. So that's also the reason why I have zero trust. I have zero trust issues. It's because of this kinds of scenarios. And I want you all to take care of yourself when it comes to your bank statements or other things. You don't know if it's safe to even like to save to have a savings account at this point. But my only advice for everyone is to please remember to not give any information no matter what. If you want to give very crucial information, might as well go to the bank instead of like talking to them on the phone. Unless of course it's like like a representative from a bank, and then they're telling you that you have a daily reminder that you have to pay for this amount. That makes sense. But other than that, yeah, that is also the reason why I did a early subathon. I should be doing my subathon only on March and May, but because of due to current circumstances and the loss of money that I have to deal with, it was really hard, honestly. And again, this is no peer pressure for every one of you. Remember, you have to donate it to your own decision and not through because of scenarios. If you can't donate, that is fine. What matters is you're watching me and you're rather recommending me to other streamers, or you're reposting that I am live on doing this and that. That's what matters. Because yeah, it is painful that I have to experience something like this. Like, I'm not as famous as other VTubers, like in the level of Shoto or any like corporate VTubers. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy trying to make a living, making VTubing as a hobby. And honestly, I'm really enjoying being a VTuber, honestly. Because imagine, I'm going on my 3rd year anniversary. Yeah. I'm already going to my 3rd year anniversary, guys. And I actually don't know what I'm gonna do on that day too. So maybe we're gonna look back in what happened during those days. Yeah, I will tell you. I sound like a newbie when I first debuted. You might some of the worst thing that I will never forget was like the alerts are not heard on the other side of the screen. I was like, oh my god. I remember that, like, guys, it's been like a year. Like, this happened like on my first anniversary, wherein I was like checking, and then I was like, why are the alert? And I was like looking back at the VOD of my debut. I was like, oh, there's the alert. But wait, why don't I hear the alert? And I was like, oh my goodness. You you guys aren't hearing any alert sounds for a year. I was like so embarrassed because a year of realization. I can't believe it. Yeah. So yeah, that is it for today's Reality Check 101. I hope you all learned a lot today, because these topics are so rare to be talked about in schools, most especially high school and also on college. Because this is like survival 101 topics that you need to consider in society. And this is one of them. So yeah, once again, thank you everyone for coming to my stream. So do take note that my Sawadon Donaton goal is still ongoing. So for those who don't know, ang layo po takte. Yeah. So these are the Sabaton Donaton goals that I have. Ignore me. Don't worry. I'll just drag it like that. So as you guys already know, we are already at 42.48 US dollars in total. So I have almost done all from the 5th to the 40th. Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't done the shower stream. Maybe I should do it soon. So yeah, the HSR, obviously I couldn't do it because of circumstances. There's also the dice counting stream, which is gonna be fun because it's gonna be hand cam. But I'll give you guys a heads up on what's gonna happen. Do take note that obviously the top donor reward, whoever contribute the most will get a special art to be included in my scenes forever. Just like the ones who won, they have an artwork of their own and they are always on my one scene, which I'm gonna make an update soon. So please stand by. So I guess that is it for today. So again, if you guys want to show your support, don't worry. I have all the links. I have for those who want to donate to their own discretion. I have my coffee right here. You guys can also donate through subathons, subs, bits, or also coffee or stream elements, gang, and pixel by ePlayman. Now, I'm also, if you wanna like follow for more updates that I am like the more updates, I have Twitter, I have Blue Sky, I have Twitch, I have YouTube, I have Facebook, I have Blue Sky, I have Thread, I have Instagram. Anak ng toko, ang dami. You can follow me there or subscribe for more information. I usually am more active in announcing on Twitter, and I'm doing my best to update also on Facebook and on Blue Sky. So once again, thank you everyone for coming to my stream. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to take care of your so many socials. I know, right? It's so hard. And here's the funny thing on Twitter. I have two accounts on Twitter. One is the safe one and one is the not so safe one. So it's so tiring having to like jumble all of them. And I have a IRL job too at the same time. So double the double the effort. But yeah, once again, thank you everyone for coming to my stream. Again, I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to take care of yourself. Have fun always. Double the work. Yeah, true. So once again, thank you everyone for coming to my stream. Make sure you all take care of yourselves. And for tomorrow, we will see what I'm gonna do. But I might make a morning stream. So please stay tuned tonight for more information, for more updates. So once again, thank you everyone. I'm Doppel Griz and hope you all have a great rest of the morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Bye bye everyone and night to you all. Night tofu and night everyone. Yeah, thank you for listening. No problem, Rabbit. I hope you all learn. And don't worry, the VOD will still be up. So if you guys want to learn about bank statements and others, take care. Stay sane, stay safe. Yeah, I will stay sane. Hopefully. Hopefully after everything. Why does it have to be on the month that I debut that I have to struggle the most, right? But yeah, I can do this. Thank you everyone for your support and see you tomorrow. Stay slayable. Do I look like I can slay? I have a chubby stomach right here. But yeah, I will. If only I'll be slayable enough, then lots of big men will be all over me.